had a comment. And please make it a comment if possible.
It's a comment, yeah. Bruce Branford, publisher, Scientific American. Jim, John, David, great stuff. I can't believe it's only a half a day. But, you know, talking about government's role in this, and so we've got a public policy, we've got, you know, mindless congressmen or, you know, whatever, the number, whatever you said, but we've got that issue to deal with. And then we have a, you know, national public policy, you know, challenge where we're debating things that should be self-evident instead of, you know, creating industrial policy that happens elsewhere because they have controlled economies. So, you know, is that, you know, one of the core issues?
You mean, should we have a controlled economy?
In other words, we've got this messy democracy, which now is, being run by extremists on both ends. You know, if the population of the country got together and had a beer, 90% of them would agree on mostly everything. It's the 5% on either side that want to, you know, pick a fight with each other, and they're controlling the conversation. So, and we're competing with people who agree on everything because they can't disagree, right? You can't disagree with, industrial policy in China.
Well, I disagree very quickly. I would get rid of either extreme, I agree, if it was up to me. In China, the entrepreneurs, however, don't view it as centrally planned, nor in India. The entrepreneurs are working 120 hours a week. They give the best entrepreneurs in the US a run for their money. And they're tapping into these massive markets, whether it's clean tech, media, gaming, social networking. And so if you're sitting in the US, it's not a question of the central planning that's allowing China to leapfrog us. India, we all know, is perhaps far more bureaucratic. It's the entrepreneurial energy and the government, in many cases, not getting in the way. And I hate to say government, but there really does have to be a complete shift in mindset in terms of long-term thinking and unleashing entrepreneurship once again.
Okay, we have time for two. Real quick.
My view, there's a slight twist to that. If you look at Silicon Valley, we got about 8 times more productive than anywhere else in the world. Okay, so it's doable in the United States. The issue right now is we find ourselves bickering with each other rather than deciding. In fact, our systems, with the check and balances and all the protections and legal and everything, our system is actually best for the innovation as long as we actually get on with it. And we don't get on with it because we're getting rules and oversights and tax and this and don't bring money back, bring all the money back, get the good people out and all that good stuff. We're doing all that stuff. And use the word mindless is a good thing. And therefore, it makes a centrally run government, policy-wise, a better system. We shouldn't be. We kind of gave up the lead and then say, okay, then of course other people who play the game, although slowly, they win. I mean, that's the whole, in our technology world today, it's all about individual empowerment. Okay, more, it's just like an eyeball discussions at the .com days. More individual, more empowered. They got more power because they're more individual, but they're kind of constrained. We actually could win, much better than anybody else. It's just that we're stuck in this forever discussion of sorts.
Okay, the two people I kind of said before could say one thing. Jody, and then whoever had their hand up first back there. Wait, were you the first one? Yeah, not you. Sorry, Peter, this guy. So Jody, it's going to have to be a comment, not a question, because we're past time.
It's a comment.
Yeah, good.
Okay, what bothers me is that we have 1.7 billion people connected to the internet, and only 400 million of those are English speaking. And yet we think we control everything because we invented this stuff. And yet we're only 12% of the online population, 12%. And we don't even really teach any other language in our schools except English. And ICANN has just approved countries to now use their own characters, their language characters. So we're soon going to have emails coming in all over the place in natural characters from whatever language they're from.
I'm getting spam in Chinese.
And we have a government who doesn't really fund R&D the way they used to or fund technology transfer. And we have companies who are in our world sitting around saying, well, we're waiting for companies to start spending money on IT again when there's 5 billion people out there to buy IT. And they don't get it. And so I worry about the U.S. and its leadership and where are we going when we're sitting around at a little 12%, thinking that we're going to still control where this world goes, and we're making a 2% economy when we've got double-digit economies in India and China and Brazil, and I'd say I would call this why the U.S. can't ignore the rest of the world.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons I really wanted to ask Stuart about geoengineering, because I love geoengineering because it forces this collective mindset. It forces it, and it will force it. I think you would argue, that's what I was hoping you would say up here before. Don't you think it will force it, by the way, eventually?
If you try to fix the whole climate, it takes basically everybody to do it. This is also an argument for governments taking a very active role, by the way.
Right.
Because that's not going to be an agreement among companies, for example.
Right, right. Okay, back here, have to be the last person.
Hi, yeah, thanks. My name
your
is
name?
Doug Selson. My company is U.S. Wind Labs. I'd like to reflect off a comment that John Chen made that we may never get there in terms of this clean energy thrust. I just want to point out, I came here with a new technology that is patented all around the world. We're even pending in China. It's called super turbine. It combines many wind turbines together into one. They all drive the same generator. You could have a drive shaft a mile long with 1,000 small turbines on it. They all run the same generator. This is the kind of technology that was originally funded by the California Energy Commission, and now trying to get the feds on board. They literally refuse to try anything new. The Ministry of New Things has no Department of New Things to try anything new. They're just rubber stamping the literally 1,000-year-old wind turbine design out there. So I'd just like to offer that there is hope. There are new technologies out there. If we can find a way to get them to market, we've got a very important new technology. I'm sure there are others out there as well.
I'm not leaving this conversation optimistic about government attitudes, I must say. Unfortunately, we have to wrap that now. So that was a great start for our first half day here, and I really thank you all for participating in it.